Alright guys, Walker Dog here for Pure MTGO. Playing against Stasis FFXI. I assume that's Final Fantasy 11, but I don't know. Much like I would assume FF Freak means Final Fantasy Freak, and FF Freak's little brother would be Final Fantasy Freak's little brother, and FF Freak's grandma is probably Final Fantasy Freak's grandma, or whatever. I'm all down to find land. This is a pretty good hand against. I know him to be Burn, as excuse me, I'm a little yawny here. We both have replays right now, and my clanmate Ugw Pe5Pt1 played him previously and lost to him. So I'm fairly certain he will burn the Tarmogoyf, as it's one of the bigger threats to him. I'm fine with it though, because it means it doesn't go to my face. It buys me time to set up a counterbalance, and with the Trinket Mage, since it's dividing top lock, which Burn pretty much can't beat. I know Bozidar 21 or whatever plays this hybrid build that he can beat. He can beat countertops sometimes, but I've beat him with countertops, so I pretty much look at the countertop matchup. As long as you have some element of life gain in your deck, you should crush Burn. And I don't mean like it's overwhelming. You should just pretty much never lose a match to them. So we'll see here. He played the Hellspark Elemental. That's cool. I'll pull up his factory. So he has less mana to work with, and hopefully he's a little mana screwed, but he's not, and it's okay. He plays Keldon Marauders. They're actually a 5 damage burn spell for 2. So I always try to counter them if I possibly can. Spell Snare is obviously the best, but you know, you take what you could get. I'm also fairly certain that Stasis FX High does not have Magus in the Moon or Blood Moon like Bozidar 21 does in his build, which oftentimes has at least Magus in the Moon. So I feel fine fetching non-basics the whole way. Get a little lucky here. Glad to get the blind flip on one of these though. So I'll pass the turn, ready to swords his factory. And I do. He tries a Fanatic, and I put a Brainstorm on top. This is really nice because not only do I counter this Fanatic, he can't really play a 1 casting cost spell, you know, since I'm able to counter it. I'll run the top out. Here I make a play. I think that was a misplay. I'm not really sure. There might have been a reason for it, but he'll swing with the Elemental. I'm not sure why, but I just blind drew and flipped the top to counter the Fanatic rather than looking at what was on there to draw. Would have allowed me to keep a Trinket Mage sitting on there, so I have a 3 casting cost counter. So I'm not sure why I did that. Let me split this up a little so you can see. But I'll play the top again. And he's going to try Fanatic. I just draw. Which it worked out really well, because I love drawing the island there, but I'm not really sure why I was just blind drawing. I must have been. I think I must just be awful at this game. Here I peak at least, and I'm able to put some 1 casting cost stuff. Oh. Excuse me, on top, and I put Spell Snare on top in case he tried to follow up with a 2 casting cost spell. I could flip the top to grab the Spell Snare and counter his spell. And so I think I just pass here because there's not really anything I care to do. I want to build up a few more lands before I play Trinket Mage, and have a 2 casting cost and 3 casting cost card in hand, hopefully that I can brainstorm back to the top of my library, so I can set up the ability to counter 1, 2, and 3 casting cost spells. Here, excuse me, had to yawn. Fairly simple. I mean, I don't have a 2 casting cost spell. Don't want him to Magma Jet and set up the top of his library particularly well, so I'll just Spell Snare it. And I'll draw the land. That's what I've been wanting. He's going to try Rift Bolt. Little does he know that I have Trinket Mage that can put one back, and I do. And I'll draw the Wasteland. Give me a little more land. And my Trinket Mage will counter his 3 casting cost spell. He's down at 1 spell, so obviously in very good position here. And I'll name Hellspark Elemental with the needle so that he doesn't get double value out of them. So I'll keep drawing Swords to Plowshares. It's a very important spell in this matchup. Excuse my yawning. And the reason being that it's important is both its removal for his guys, it's very cheap, and it allows me to gain life in the face of ridiculousness. Here, I'll go ahead and put the Trinket Mage on top. He goes for Lightning Bolt. This is a really terrible play too, because that let me draw the card I wanted, which is the land, put the top on top to counter his Lightning Bolt, then again shuffle it up, so to speak, to counter the Rift Bolt. So he's going to go Fire Blast and Fire Blast and kill me. Oh wait, no, I can turn on Factory, and I do. I gain the life from it. Okay. Now I play the Mage because I kind of need to get some sort of force out, plus it can gain me life. Here I play the Tarmogoyf, and he will try Fire Blast targeting me for lethal, so I will go ahead and Swords to Plowshares my Tarmogoyf to counter that. So take the Brainstorm, because that means I can put the Trinket Mage back once again. I'll be pretty honest, I was really happy to see him blow up all his lands. I'm going to start fast forwarding, gets a little slow through here. I'll draw the Sensei's Divining Top because I can play it, because now all I need to do is draw a 2 casting cost spell, and I can theoretically shuffle, to see what I can see if the top of my library gets nasty, and then Brainstorm back a 2 and a 3 casting cost, plus I have the double top ability to draw 2 or to counter at 1 casting cost off of it. And then I can counter his Hellspark Elemental, plus the top covers it from coming back. I think he may not have realized it, and I get the Force of Will. That was nice. I think he didn't realize that Hellspark Elemental is stopped by Needle, because here I think he sits here trying to tap his mana and figure out what's going wrong. It was next turn. I'll go ahead and Brainstorm back a 2 casting cost and 3 casting cost spell to my library. Make sure I can counter anything, essentially, that he might have, aside from Fire Blast, that I have Force of Will for. And see him play the Rift Bolt into my Trinket Mage. And draw another Sensei's Divining Top. I won't tap out for it though, since I want to leave Force of Will as a hard counter with the ability to cast Daze and Swords to Plowshares. But I get the counter, put it on top, the counterbalance in this case, counter spell, and he will scoop. So thanks for watching game 1. I'll be back in just a little bit with game 2.